Hello and welcome. 5 o'clock and plenty of sports news today. Obviously, there is the Jasprit Bumrah update for which I will go to Shubhan. The question that we are asking Abhishek Sharma, has he done enough to kind of push Yashasvi Jaiswal back in the pecking order in T20s? What does this mean? What does this mean for Sanju Samson as well? The T20 team looking pretty much settled at the moment. Are we worried about Surya Kumar Yadav's form as captain? And we will go to chess, where it was a 1-2 for India. Ramesh Babu Pragyananda winning the third game in the blitz. After Gukesh won the first blitz game, Pragyananda won the second, and then Pragg winning the third to win the Tata Steel chess, which is called the Wimbledon of chess in Amsterdam. So plenty of things to talk about. Shubhan, to you first. What is the update on Jasprit Bumrah?
So, Boryada, as we had discussed in one of our lives previously, that Bumrah is supposed to check in on the first week of February, and which he did last evening. So, first round of scans have already happened this morning, and there will be further updates on what he needs to do in terms of recovery, rehabilitation, how serious the injury is. That will be known in a day or two as the scan results come out. He's in touch with a doctor in New Zealand as well, who treated his lower back stress fracture as well. So if needed, uh, it will all depend on how the scan reports are. But the NCA guys are working with Jasprit Bumrah till the scan results come out. They will work on just the stretching part and try to loosen him up for the coming days, because he has not been in any sorts of physical activity in the last month or so after returning to from Australia. So it is important to loosen up his muscles as well. But his future progress, his future course of recovery will depend on how the scan results are, which will be known to us by tomorrow or day after. Boryada, you're on mute.
By when do we have a detailed update? Because what Shubhan is telling me is the day after. So will that be the kind of time frame? 48 hours from now, will we get a detailed update when one can expect Jasprit Bumrah back, Rohit?
Boyada, what I came to know from my sources is they are still having, the BCCI medical team is still having the word with the doctors in the New Zealand, especially Dr. Rowan Scouten, and they are very specific about it because they have only chosen him because of the last time surgery report. Also, last time when Jasprit Bumrah went under the knife, it was Mr. Scouten there at that point of time who took care of each and everything, and he after that, he's been sent to NCA, and after that there it took, I think, close to 7-8 months, and then there is a time when they expected Jasprit Bumrah to play either the Sri Lanka or the New Zealand series, and then Jasprit Bumrah came for a bowling practice. In 7 days, he observed some kind of pain, and he again sent back to the NCA, and then he again made a comeback. Later on, after almost a year. So what I came to know at this particular point of time, that the BCCI medical officers are still on touch with Dr. Scouten. And, after all these scans, what Shubhanda has just told, they've been, sending all the detailed reports of the scan. There are chances that, in this week, around 7 or 8 or 6 or 7, after completion of this week around, we will have a final say that, forget about, him playing the Champions Trophy, but whether he has to play that game on 12th or not. But at this point of time, 99% for a big no for Jasprit Bumrah.
No for what? Champions Trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you reckon he will be, I mean, you're saying no for the Champions Trophy. So what about the IPL?
No, IPL again. That what I'm saying, that they are waiting for again the scan reports. The scan reports being sent to New Zealand. There were reports earlier also that there have been a chance that BCCI medical team can also send Jasprit Bumrah to New Zealand if the doctor requests the BCCI medical team that it's not only about reports. We have to have him here. Means Jasprit Bumrah, his physical presence will give us a more clear picture. So there were earlier reports, that he could fly to New Zealand, and then Mr. Scouten can have a look, and after that, he'll be sent back. But as of now, it's only the reports which are going to New Zealand. As of now, they are getting, uh, they are getting each and everything done as far as the NCA support staff, the NCA reports are concerned. I think we broke a story, I think 7 or 8 days earlier also, when someone from the NCA went to Jasprit Bumrah, and there were some, conversations, and there were some medical discussions on him. This was, I think, 8 or 9 days ago. Before that also, we did that story that he was on rest, not on bed rest, but just on rest. And he was walking, he was going here and there, he was attending the Chris Martin concert, he was going to the Naman Awards. Each and everything was there as part of a daily routine, but not anything as far as the fitness routine is concerned, or the gym sessions are concerned, or for from the point of view of bowling. Nothing have been done from Jasprit Bumrah's side. Now from tomorrow onwards and later onwards, they will put some pressure on his body also. Initially, what have been instructed from New Zealand, or what they'll see in his body. Then after that, they'll put some pressure on his body, and then observe that uh, can we after giving him a game on 12th, is there a chance that it's aggravating, or is there a chance that we have to risk him for the Champions Trophy also? uh, they want him desperately for the Champions Trophy, without a doubt. The captain wants him. What I'm coming to know this, that the captain wants him, and that's why captain said on the Sydney test also that don't bowl here now. There's nothing left in this test. You make yourself ready for the Champions Trophy. Still, what I'm coming to know is that the captain wants him, and he is very desperate. The captain is very desperate to have him in the side. But then there are some external factor also. I mentioned the Mumbai Indians thing. uh, you know the top hierarchy is in direct contact with the BCCI, that what's happening with Jasprit Bumrah, how we are handling Jasprit Bumrah's injury, what's the fitness update, what the scan reports are saying. I came to know also yesterday, that in larger context we will came to know something in this week.
Okay. So from what Rohit is saying, is it right to say that chances of him now playing the Champions Trophy is pretty remote? Can we say that?
It would be too early, Boriada, but yes, it will all depend on what the scan reports say, which happened today. Which happened today. We are still waiting. The BCCI medical team is still waiting for that report to come out. It's an in-depth scan, and not like the one which was done in Australia. In Australia, it was the upper level scans that were done just to get to know whether that's a stress fracture or just a stress, or whether what kind of injury that is. But the gradation and the seriousness of the injury will be known once the scan reports are out, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Whenever we get the information, we will break that, and it will all depend on what the scan report says. It will be too early for us to come to a conclusion that Jasprit Bumrah is out or won't play any sort of part in the Champions Trophy. Let's wait and see what kind of, fingers crossed, what kind of gradation and the intensity of that is. And since Bumrah has not been actively, as Rohit also mentioned, has not been actively doing any physical exercises in this month or so, it is important for the NCA staff to loosen up his muscle, and then see whether there's any swelling, whether there is any kind of aggravation in that section of his upper back. It's a upper to mid back injury that is being said. It's not a completely lower back issue. It's a section of the middle back and upper back that is causing the concern right now. But again, let's see how the upcoming days goes, because it will be an important week for Jasprit Bumrah and his availability for the Champions Trophy.
Okay, sports fan is saying, how can you take Rohit's word as correct or not? Who's asking you to? Have we asked you to take his words as gospel? Don't. He's telling you what his sources are telling him, and no journalist in the world is supposed to give you sources. So your call. You are listening to our show. Shubhayan and Rohit are telling you what they've heard. Whether you want to believe or not, or you don't want to believe, is entirely up to you. Who cares? In fact, don't. I have always sort of felt this, that you should take everything with a pinch of salt. This is an opinion. This is his source telling him. Whether you think it's credible or not is your call. So your decision. Coming to Devashish. Devashish, moving on to my second question. Has Abhishek Sharma done enough? Are you seeing a pattern emerge in the T20 landscape? Has Abhishek Sharma done enough to kind of push Yashasvi Jaiswal back? Sanju Samson getting a long rope. Tilak Verma sealing his spot at number 3. What is the story with Yashasvi Jaiswal now? Devashish Sen, your thoughts?
You're on mute.
I think definitely the knock yesterday has ticked the boxes as far as selectors are concerned. Means obviously to be scoring the second fastest half century in T20 format, that speaks a lot, and he has done justice to his potential, to his talent. Yes, a lot has been spoken about him. So definitely, but to be saying that whether he has pushed Yashasvi Jaiswal up away from the pecking order, I still doubt, because Yashasvi Jaiswal has also done nothing wrong as far as T20 format is concerned. But definitely Sanju Samson, the manner in which he was displaying, he has, remember, Sanju Samson got all the 5 matches in this series, and the a manner in which he was dismissed, getting out to, and it was all similar, means getting out to short ball. So I think that he might be uh, just lower on the pecking order, if you ask me. But definitely Yashasvi Jaiswal, I don't see Abhishek Sharma making him out. Definitely Yashasvi Jaiswal will be there in the T20 format.
Bharat, same question.
Yes, first of all, let me start with Sanju Samson himself. See, yes, he's been getting out the pull shot, but yesterday he made a small adjustment which helped him to at least hit 2 sixes. See, what he was trying to do was trying to take all these tall fast bowlers more on the front foot. He would go back and then not across, but try to take them on the front foot, and that is how he was getting out. But yesterday he made a small adjustment. He went back and then he went across, and that is how he could crack a couple of poles. Unfortunately, the third time, it was not a great short ball, but he found the fielder to perfection. Yeah, when things are not going your way, nothing goes your way. So, but at least he made adjustment. That was good to see, and that is why he was able to play those two pull shots. See, unless, yeah, Rohit Sharma is an exception to the rule. Someone who is under 6 feet and still can pull on the front foot. But unless you are some 6 feet 5 or 6 feet 6, or 6 feet 2 like Shubman Gill, to pull on the front foot, all those tall fast bowlers, not easy. So it was good to see Sanju Samson making that small adjustment. Hopefully in the future it will help. As far as Jaiswal is concerned, see, Abhishek Sharma is an ultra aggressive opening batter. You don't get too many of those even in the modern era. Not just an aggressive batter, he's an ultra aggressive modern day batter. And in the power play, to have him is a huge asset. You just saw yesterday. We just saw yesterday. Those bowlers were not bowling at 125 kilometers per hour, and they were bowling short of length and at his body. Okay, sometimes they gave room. I agree that, barring cars, but still, all of them had pace, and he was hitting those short of length, heavy length deliveries all over the park. So that kind of batters you don't get. So Abhishek Sharma, I guess, will be a shoe in even maybe for the 2026 or the next T20 World Cup.
Bhargi, same question. Abhishek Sharma, has he done enough? Now should he be given a long rope? Because in our Indian story, it is 2 matches and people will say your career is over. Some people have already started saying Surya Kumar Yadav is finishing his career. And I read these people and I think they are journalists, for God's sake. This is the problem of the Indian media. I mean, who the hell are these idiots? So we will see many such, right? Many such. 4 failures, 3 failures, 2 failures in the T20 format. So and so's career is over. So now that Abhishek Sharma has done this, obviously they will persist with him. Where does that put Yashasvi Jaiswal? Tilak has also settled himself. Where do you stand on this, Gargi?
There are serious contenders when we talk about the opening position or the top order. One is Shubman Gill, of course, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and now Abhishek Sharma is coming up. And Abhishek Sharma is someone I've seen from a long time. I've seen from domestic cricket, IPL as well, and now we're seeing that in playing for India as well, he's doing just as well. And when we talk about that transition from domestic to from under 19 to 23, then senior, and then finally, an IPL and then an India contract. But we're seeing that Abhishek Sharma has made that transition quite well. And what we're seeing, international versus domestic, is the fact that he also brings you a solid left arm spin options, and that can be a great asset for the team. So when we think about all these things, Abhishek Sharma has one extra asset compared to a Yashasvi Jaiswal, but at the same time, Yashasvi Jaiswal has cemented his place such that it's not going to be easy to replace him, for an Abhishek Sharma to just come in and throw Yashasvi Jaiswal around. But yes, Abhishek Sharma has done well. He's been doing well in the IPL. He's been doing well in the domestic circuit. I say give him a long rope. This Champions Trophy, no, I don't see him anywhere near the squad. But after that, 100% he should be in the white ball setup.
Okay, so we are saying white ball setup, at least in the T20 format. Let's be very clear. White ball means T20 here. We'll come to the Champions Trophy in a second. That Abhishek Sharma kind of has done enough to be there. Rohit Juglan, Varun Chakravarti, any chance? Champions Trophy has done very well in the T20 format, but does that sort of make him a contender for the 50 overs? Two very different formats, despite being white ball. Where do you stand on Varun Chakravarti, Rohit?
There is a high possibility. I think what I am getting is there could be discussions in the upcoming days, because they have now they have 11, the last date is, so they have just over a week to choose the exact squad, that whatever they have to send. So 11th of Feb is when they have to submit the final squad in the ICC, and in my opinion, I think there is I think, if you can replace him with one player, is Washington Sundar, because 50 over cricket, Washington Sundar with the bat, with the ball, you've tried him in Sri Lanka, you've given him opportunity, you've given him position before Shreyas Iyer also, just to have a balance of right-handers and left-handers. In Sri Lanka, they have Rohit Sharma, then you have Shubman Gill, then you have Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, yes, there's Shreyas Iyer. So there were all of them are right-handers. So they wanted to test Washi there, but I don't any of them, apart from Rohit Sharma, nobody played really well as a batter there. But Washington Sundar with the ball, with the bat, didn't have that kind of impact in that particular series. And here Ravindra Jadeja, yes, there are questions on his form also, but I think with the ball could be a handy option for you. Akshar Patel again, then yes, with the bat, with the ball. Kuldeep Yadav is your primary wicket taker, a pure spinner. So I think there's no need to take another right arm offie in the name of Washington Sundar. They can easily replace Varun Chakravarti for Washington Sundar. And if they want to carry Washington Sundar, look, this is my point of view. I don't think there is a need of Yashasvi Jaiswal in this squad, because you have only 5 matches you have to play. You have to play in Dubai. There's no need to take a backup opener for it. Just go with this Varun Chakravarti, and you have already KL Rahul there. If you want a backup opener, you have already Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma there. So I don't think there is a need of a backup opener. So firstly, in place of Washington Sundar, if not Washi, then go in the place of Yashasvi Jaiswal. But very strongly, he should have been there, because fielding while also he's completely a changed player now. In 2021, there was a constant saying that you have to hide him in the field. You have to set him somewhere in the in the fine leg area or in the short third man area. Now the way he took the catch yesterday, the way the movements, T. Dilip specially mentioned him in that medal ceremony. So and we have already seen him, the kind of work he has done as far as his physique is concerned, the kind of issues he had with the knees in 2021. So come up a long way, and I think he should have there at the 2025 Champions Trophy squad.
Shubhan, where do you stand on this? Varun Chakravarti. So basically, two options emerging. Rohit is saying Washington Sundar, Yashasvi Jaiswal. Why not Ravindra Jadeja? Because Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, like for like, you might just go in with one left arm. That gives you variety. You will have the off spinner, you will have the mystery spinner, you will have the Kuldeep Yadav variation. Also, you will have Varun Chakravarti. Is that an option as well? Or you stand with Rohit saying, okay, Washington Sundar, or possibly you sacrifice a batter? Where do you stand on this? But firstly, do you at least agree, or do you reckon that Varun Chakravarti deserves a place? You can very well disagree and say no. So where do you stand on this, Shubhan?
No, of course, Boryada, not only this T20I series or the earlier one, he did really well in the Vijayazare Trophy as well. Ended up as second highest wicket taker. I think after Arshdeep picked 20 and Varun picked 18 wickets in 6 matches at an average of 12 and economy rate of less than 5. So he has ticked all the boxes in terms of bowling. He has started to bat a bit also. Not that he's a proper bowling all rounder, but he can now hold a bat, unlike the Varun Chakravarti of 2021, who used to struggle with the bat, or fitness wise, as Rohit also mentioned. He has trimmed himself, his excess weight, his movement is quicker. He looks a bit agile now. Fielding wise, there's no need to go with the mindset that we need to hide Varun Chakravarti on the field. His movement has been really impressive on the field as well. So Varun has worked hard, has done the hard grinds in the IPL and in the domestic circuit as well. So uh, I won't say remove Yashasvi Jaiswal, because, of course, he has not made his ODI debut yet, but his numbers or statistics back him a lot, and what he has done in domestic for India in different formats, he has proven his mettle there, and Yashasvi is a big game player. He's a different beast. So to for him to be in that setup will help him integrate into the ODI setup in the future, whenever he gets chance after Rohit moves on, or whatever the plan is with Yashasvi. But for Varun Chakravarti, I think Washington Sundar. See, now that you have picked both Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja, it would be a bit disrespectful for a player like Ravindra Jadeja for the selection committee to remove him. Now that you and Akshar Patel has done nothing wrong, he's my number one pick for the all rounder in the Team India playing 11 in the spin department. So Akshar and Jadeja, you can't really touch them. Kuldeep Yadav is your certainty there. But in terms of Varun Chakravarti, if there's any player that can be phased out right now, looking at the immediate result, then it has to be Washington Sundar. Uh, can you make Washington Sundar bowl 10 overs? Of course you can, but will he give you that desired results or the number of wickets that a Varun Chakravarti would provide with his 10 overs? You can't. And with the bat also, where would you bat a Washington Sundar? Does he fit in your top six in ODI format? No, because top three is already set. Virat at three, number four Shreyas Iyer has done nothing wrong. Number five, you will have your Hardik Pandya or your wicket keeper. Number five, six will be your wicket keeper and Hardik Pandya, and then number seven will be your Akshar Patel, who has been batting phenomenally well. So your number seven is already stacked. Then number eight, you can have a Kuldeep Yadav, who is a decent bat. He's not an all rounder, but he's a decent bat. And if your top seven is not scoring runs, then don't expect runs from number eight, number nine, number 10. So rather go with a proper spinner who is in the form of his life, who has been extremely impressive in the white ball setup. Give him to bowl alongside Kuldeep Yadav in tandem, and you will see Kuldeep and Varun wreaking havoc in Dubai conditions, in conditions that will assist spin. So I think the selection committee should again go back. I know they had already discussed Varun Chakravarti at length during the selection meeting. So I think they should once again go back to the same meeting room and sit and decide whether Varun Chakravarti should be in that squad or not. For me, he should be there. He must be there.
Devashish Sen, are we being a little harsh on Washington Sundar? What wrong has he done? I mean, there has been no 50 over cricket since you picked the team. All of a sudden, if you drop him, potentially, as Shubhan and Rohit saying, he can be a possible option. Varun will come in his place. But what wrong? Well, will Washington Sundar feel hard done? I mean, what have I done wrong? I'm just being toyed around once again, kicked out inside the team. Sort of, what is going on? I mean, will it be justice towards Washington Sundar? Devashish Sen.
Yeah, the only reason what I feel Sundar was picked in the initial squad, initial Champions Trophy squad, was because of his batting. Means obviously his off spin, and because of his batting, he was picked. But now, on current form, what Varun Chakravarti has done in the recently concluded T20 series, he is an immediate pick. Means obviously, if there and given that you have an option of making a last minute change, I think Varun Chakravarti, on the basis of his current form, should be immediately picked in that Champions Trophy squad, because he will add more variety to that bowling attack, and perhaps make Washington Sundar the sacrificial board. So I think it would be good on the part of the selectors to give Varun Chakravarti the opportunity, given his recent exploit, because the English batters, they failed to judge him by his hand. Means each and every English batter has struggled picking Varun Chakravarti when he used his hand. So that to me is a biggest plus. If you, and given yes, He has improved a lot. I'm not saying that he's a decent batter ahead of Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar is still far superior batter than a Varun Chakravarti. But on that, but you already have four spinners in the likes of Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, and who are Washington Sundar. So I think I also believe when you I think if Yashasvi Jaiswal will definitely be in that side. Means at the first count he was picked because of his exploits in the IPL and also the way he batted in Australia. I think that might have influenced the selectors in picking him for the Champions Trophy squad. The people might argue that it was the performance in Border Gavaskar, but the manner in which he scored those runs, and he has not been tried in ODI format. So I think that might be the reason the selectors have, and you have to try Yashasvi Jaiswal given the manner, a left hand, right hand combination at the top. It always makes it difficult for the opponent bowlers. So I think if there is an option, if there is the provision, I think Varun Chakravarti should Washington Sundar should make way for Varun Chakravarti.
Boria, Washington Sundar is not your number 8 batter. If he's batting at 8, then you are wasting his batting talent. If you're bowling him in the middle overs, you won't be guaranteed of wickets. Yes, he did bowl against New Zealand at home, but that's a different format altogether. The pitches are different. Those were spin tracks. It would be the similar case as we saw in Sydney. Washington coming at number 8, not bowling many overs. Then that's a waste of a spot in my opinion.
Bharat, where do you stand on this? Quite an interesting debate, this. Washington Sundar, Varun Chakravarti. Do you reckon Varun Chakravarti makes it on current form? All three of my guests, Shubhan, Rohit, and Devashish, have agreed on this. Where do you stand on this before I go to Gargi? But clearly there is a consensus building here that Varun Chakravarti makes the team. Is it for Washington Sundar? Is it for someone else? Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, I would also tend to agree that perhaps Chakravarti in for Washington Sundar. See, one of the reasons for it is Washington Sundar as a batter, he has not really improved when it comes to his hitting prowess. So if you're going to use him at number 8 or whatever, it's going to be difficult for the batter as well to play the big shots, to land the big shots, because he's not good at it. Of course, not that good at it. I'm not saying he's very bad, but he can't play too many shots. So that is where I guess Chakravarti can come into the equation. See, 2 points I will add about Chakravarti. Yes, we know he has 7 variations, but the main part is if you look at the Vijay Hazare Trophy, here was a bowler who was trying to impart a little more side force or a side spin at 87-88 kilometers per hour. That is something I've never seen Chakravarti do, because he was someone who was known for imparting overspin. Even if you asked his coaches like Sriram Krishnamurthy or Pratibhan, they would always talk about overspin. But suddenly he's imparting even side spin. That tells you he's at the peak of his prowess. Even against England, it's not just about his variations. You look at the kind of bounce he gets, again overspin. So even if you pick Varun Chakravarti, because of his bounce factor, he was able to pick some of those wickets against England. They just couldn't get underneath it. So he has those factors, X factors, not just in relation to his variations, but he gets that bounce. He's imparting a little more side spin. All these things also tell you that he has touched his peak. So when he's at his peak, I guess the logic says you have to pick him, not when he retires and sits on a rock chair and the chair goes back and forth and he starts to think, yeah, those days they could have picked me.
There's a super chat, Gargi. Can you quickly take that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead, because he disagrees with Rohit, so you take it. Otherwise, I would have gone to Rohit.
Amog Ankad is saying, I disagree with Juglan. Washi should be there and Jaiswal should start in all possible 6 one-days. Varun should come in for Jaddu. No need for 2 same players. You know what? I also agree with the rest of the panel. I think Varun Chakravarti should be there 100%. And if there's anyone who goes out in place of Varun Chakravarti, it has to be Washington Sundar. Like you said, Boria, there's nothing wrong that Washington Sundar did, but purely on the merit of how well Varun Chakravarti is performing right now, his momentum, his rhythm, the way that we're seeing, I think it's incredible. And this is one of the peaks in a bowler's life that you get to see very few times in their career. So it's important that the Indian management takes advantage of this. Again, he's been so penetrative, and Bharat also pointed out the way that he's that he's been bowling the technicalities of it, and I have nothing to add to that. But Varun Chakravarti in place of Washi, I agree with Rohit as well.
Okay, so my panel is entirely in agreement on this matter. So, Amog, I hope you sort of decide to rethink it.
He mentions
There
an
are only five
important point.
matches.
Jaiswal should start in all 6 matches.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
are
who's
only 5 matches. There are no
first
6
5
matches.
matches in whose place? So the captain sits out, or the vice captain sits out in whose place? So they've taken vice captain, captain,
The
and
vice captain have an average of 60. Come on. How can you stop
from
him?
game one they sit out. Then what is the logic of making them captain, vice captain? If we were supposed to play, don't make them captain and vice captain. At least from game one, they can't sit out, right? So at least they've got to play a couple of games. So think about it. Think about it that way.
200 रुपए मेरे से लेके पढ़ ले भाई थोड़ा stat.
Rohit Juglan copies news from other websites. At least he takes the trouble of copying. तुम तो कुछ भी नहीं करते हो यार. वो तो छोड़ो. Indian media and their obsession with format mixing is unreal. Wonderful. Let them mix. At least they're doing better than cake mixing. Okay.
So the earlier comment also mixed formats. No, Jaiswal should play all 6 matches. He has not made his ODI debut yet, and you are removing someone. Either you are removing the captain of the team, or you are removing someone who averages 60 in the format.
So Ripon Ghosh agrees with you guys. Varun in place of Washington Sundar. Okay, so these were the 3 points that I wanted to ask. But any further update from Pakistan, my friends? Any further update? Rohit Juglan, Shubhan Chakravarti, don't laugh. Give me something. Mohsin Naqvi telling you guys something in your ears? Something? Come on. What is the 99% meaning?
99%. 99% means the construction work, whatever is happening, will continue for the next 10 days. At least they will have to do the finishing touches and all. And I saw one video from one Pakistan YouTuber that you can see the LED lights here, which the Indian fans and Indian media have never seen in life, in their life. Array, five of our main test stadiums have LED lights installed for the last 4-5 years. So I don't know what these guys want to say. Whatever, like official handles are this Falana journalist have a message for Indian media, and that reporter is reporting from that stadium. My
So
goodness.
will the Pakistan Cricket Board sort of make sure that Indian journalists gets visas if they want to travel? Will it happen? Have you found out anything?
They have to. I don't know. At least I know at least one who wants to travel. He's a very senior journalist, so I don't think there will be any issues of him getting any visa. They are giving. They very well know if they don't give the visas, then that will be another issue, or that can escalate to a diplomatic level.
Okay, last 10 minutes of the show. So Devashish, I'll start with you. The England ODI series is far more important than the T20 series. Yes, Abhishek Sharma lit it up and Mohammad Shami's come back. But yesterday, Mohammad Shami, does it tell you that he's now ready for the 10 over grind? 4 overs, done. Multiple matches in the domestic circuit as well. Yes, one Ranji Trophy game, but is he now ready? From what you've seen yesterday, rhythm, everything else, Devashish Sen, is Mohammad Shami ready for the ODI setup and Champions Trophy?
Yeah, definitely. Given that he picked 3 wickets, and that must have done his confidence a world of good, and especially when you have wickets at the back, then you would guess. Then, but then his real test will be the 3 ODIs coming up against England. How his body copes up, it will be interesting. And given that we don't know what's the exact status of Jasprit Bumrah is, so he will have to spare it the burden of the fast bowling unit. With Arshdeep and Hardik Pandya. So yes, I think that augurs well for India, given that he picked those 3 wickets. That would have gave him confidence. He did not pick any wicket in Rajkot, but the way he bowled, that must be heartening for the Indian team management. Boriada.
Gargi, same question. Mohammad Shami, was it because some balls had shape? Second over much better than the first. Coming back after that 17-run over, really good second over, getting Ben Duckett, bowling really well in the second spell as well. Mohammad Shami getting better, more match time, will get better. Gargi Raut?
Yeah, I think it's about coming back to international cricket. He hasn't played it for a long time. And I think the biggest concern for me personally would be how his body is holding up. I'm not concerned about his bowling as much. He has performed well in this series, and going forward, I think as he gets back into rhythm, it'll only get better. This is Mohammad Shami we're talking about. He has so much experience under his belt, and it's the disciplined bowling and the consistency that makes him so dangerous, and that's what we're looking for when we go into the Champions Trophy. And with more game time, I think we have nothing to worry about except his how his body is holding up. That's all. That's my only concern here.
Shubhan, Rohit and Virat, all the focus once again will be on these two fellows. Australia disaster, coming back, Champions Trophy, big tournament coming up, Pakistan match, high profile. This England series will at least give us an idea how they are shaping up in white ball. You can answer this and leave because I know you got to go. Then I'll go to Bharat and Rohit.
I sincerely wish that both Rohit and Virat get some big runs, at least one big knock in this 3-match series for both of them. I was talking the same when they were playing Ranji Trophy, both of them, that it would benefit their confidence. It would boost their confidence after a very very mediocre Australia tour. So now a month has passed, so they have had time to reconfigure things, spend some time with the family, and get back to things. And since the Ranji match also did not go the way that they would have wanted, this England series is absolutely crucial for them to regain some confidence. Three poor matches on the trot, then I think both Rohit and Virat will have a baggage, will have extra pressure to score runs in Champions Trophy, because they also know that I'm not saying do or die series, but it is a very 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 important tournament for both Virat and Rohit in terms of their long term future in this format, ODI or Test format. Boryada.
Shubhan, I'll let you go. Bharat, the
Thank
same
you.
question. Thank you. Bharat, the same question. Huge tournament, 3 matches. But for these two chaps, I mean, coming back after the Australia failure, once again failure in the Ranji Trophy. However good you are, pressure has to mount. You will feel the pressure. You're a performer at this elite level. Billion eyes will be focused on you, both the captain and the legend. Your thoughts on Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, Bharat Ramraj?
Yeah, with Virat Kohli, I guess there are two ways to look at it. One of them is rarely been out of form when it comes to ODI cricket. I understand he didn't do well in Sri Lanka in the ODIs, but he's rarely been out of form. But the problem here is Kohli doesn't play too many ODIs these days, or India don't play too many ODIs these days. So you would have lost that little bit of, what can you say, muscle memory. You have to get used to the tempo when it comes to playing ODI cricket. There's a little bit different tempo in relation to 50-over cricket. So and also he's been in bad patch. So it will take a little bit of time. For another example, you can see Joe Root. For the last 3-4 years, England have hardly been playing Joe Root in ODIs. They only pick him in Champions Trophy or during the World Cup. Suddenly, it seemed like he didn't have that muscle memory in 2023 World Cup. By the time he again got used to the tempo, tournament itself was over for England. So that's similar to Kohli, because too many ODIs are not played these days, and also he is in bad form. So that kind of muscle memory won't be there. So hopefully, from his point of view, he scores runs in the first match or the second match, and that is something similar to Rohit Sharma as well. Again, he would be carrying that kind of baggage from the series in Australia and series against New Zealand. So hopefully, in the first or second match, if they score runs, they will get that muscle memory, get used to that tempo of playing ODI cricket.
Good point made there, Devashish Sen. Before I go to Rohit Juglan, I mean, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, do you think they will be circumspect? Rohit Sharma, for example, set the tempo with his aggressive batting in the 2023 World Cup. Do you think he'll change his approach? He'll go the same way? Because that is an approach fraught with risk as well. In the 50-over format, you can take a bit of time, but will he do that, or will he continue with the same template as 23? Because that's what worked for him and India. What do you think Rohit Sharma's approach can be? Because, the cluttered mind, here Rohit Sharma is under pressure. Runs are needed. If you take a chance, if you get out, people will start saying, hello, look at what is happening to Rohit Sharma. Devashish Sen.
I don't see a change in the template as far as Rohit Sharma's approach in white ball format, 50 overs format is concerned. He has done well in the 2023 World Cup, 50 overs World Cup, and also he followed it up with the same approach in the T20 World Cup in USA and West Indies. So I don't see, and the advantage of this format is that these two senior players can actually take time to settle down. Perhaps play a couple of hours, get their eye in, and they can take the aggressive approach. So I think these two players, the advantage of a 50 overs format is that you can take your time. You can settle down and you can start taking the attack onto the opposition. And that is where Virat Kohli has been successful. Means he always means invariably he takes a bit of time to settle in, and then he can. We know what a finisher he is in this format. And the 50 hundreds itself is a proof that Virat Kohli in this format is perhaps the greatest. Is perhaps the greatest in this format. So I don't see them too much tinkering with their approach as far as Rohit is concerned, because he has tested success by going the attacking mode in Boryada.
Rohit Juglan, I'll give Gargi the last words on today's show. But Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, I mean, that bowling attack, that England has. Yesterday, obviously, Jofra Archer went for a lot of runs and Mark Wood and all these fellows. But come on, these are really good bowlers. There's genuine pace out there, 145 Ks. They'll have a couple of slips. This is not the T20 format. They will know that there is a chance to get early wickets with these two chaps who are not in form. England will come hard. It will not be easy, Rohit, for both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And if a couple of failures happen, the pressure starts to mount. So in every sense, this is not an ordinary bilateral ODI series. This is a far more important and interesting ODI series than compared to a bilateral series that we see. Rohit Juglan?
Exactly, Buryada. But before that, I have to say this, that there is a point of view, which we have to address, that they had a bitter relationship in Australia, the coaching management and the players. So I specifically want to see how this dressing room behaves from here onwards, because T20 cricket, they were literally, there were team bonding exercise. There were a lot of conversations. There were a lot of belief, backing the players. Everything is up. Gautam Gambhir having words, with a lot of confidence, be it about Shivam Dube. He was very confident on the, yesterday with talking to broadcasters, when Kevin Peterson asked him that cheeky question about like-to-like replacement, he was very confident about his players. Now these similar players are returning, who with whom they had a bitter kind of relationship after Melbourne and then after Sydney onwards. So I really want to see first that how this dressing room gels up now as far as this 50 over competition is 50 over series is concerned. What were the communication between Rohit Sharma? Because what I came to know is that from Sri Lanka onwards, from the very first series, Gautam Gambhir was there, Rohit Sharma was there. The relation was not very good, be it about the winning the toss and after that decision, or be it about the playing 11, be it about about the strategies. It derailed from there only. It derailed from Sri Lanka only. Means derailed must be a big word, but the choices they both are making are completely different. So they were not clicking as far as being on the same page is concerned. And that Gautam Gambhir is someone who's not like a Rahul Dravid, just want to put his point. He was someone, if he wants something, he will do that. He'll be very adamant to that. So from there onwards till here to this very series, which is very important, as you rightly said, that form point of view, the dressing room point of view, the playing 11 point of view, the 15 you have selected. So as far as these all things are concerned, yes, the form must be a big thing, that how Rohit is scoring his runs. Rohit carried that form in Sri Lanka also. But in Sri Lanka, Rohit is the only one who was scoring. After that, there was no one who's able to score at that speed. Forget about that speed. They weren't able to score runs. And Rohit was very frustrated. I remember asking that question to him in the press conference, and he said that we have to change how we are playing the spinners, because when the say was there and everyone is just, coming there and picking up wickets, coming there and picking up wickets. And the kind of, changes they made in the batting order. What I was mentioning earlier, that Washington Sundar at number 5 and Shreyas Iyer at number 7. So these are something which Rohit and Gambhir, they are having their different thoughts about this kind of batting order. So I think all of these are also a part of picture where you have to see the camaraderie between the two. And obviously the main point will be how Rohit is scoring run. I think for Virat it will be very easy. I'm not concerned about Virat, because this format he has mastered this kind of format, Dubai kind of conditions or India kind of conditions. He know how to score runs in 50 over cricket. What I want to see is whether Rohit will continue with that approach or not. Because in Sri Lanka, it didn't give him that kind of results. Sri Lanka, you lost that series. Nobody after Rohit Sharma could able to score those runs. So first thing obviously will be the dressing room atmosphere, the player to player camaraderie, and the player to coaches camaraderie. And after that, I really want to see what you said, that want to see runs from Rohit's bat and Virat's bat. And the
I think it's an important point. I think it's an important point about the dressing room thing that Rohit Juglan just made. Gargi, I'll give you the last words, but I'm just told that, and you guys must check this. Rohit Juglan, Devashish Sen, Bharat Ramraj, you guys must check and corroborate this to me. I'm told that Kerala might just drop Sanju Samson from the Ranji Trophy quarterfinal. I'm told that Kerala might just drop Sanju Samson from the Ranji Trophy quarterfinal. Things have reached that kind of a tipping point. Just now that I was being told that Sanju might just not be picked by Kerala for the Ranji Trophy quarterfinal. If that happens, that's a big domestic cricket news. Will that mean that he leaves Kerala? Will that means that the relationship kind of breaks down between a Sanju Samson and the Kerala Cricket Association? I've just been told.
That's because of the injury. That's because of the injury.
Yes, injury, yes, but also check if they dump him, because there is something going on there as well. Injury for sure. I mean, he will not be fit till the IPL.
Yesterday he had something on his
He
finger.
will not be fit till the IPL. He will not be fit for at least the next few weeks. But the relationship is also at a tipping point between Kerala Cricket Association and Sanju Samson. So check that. Gargi Raut, I'll give you the last words. This dressing room thing is critical. If India has to do well in the Champions Trophy. If India doesn't, then automatically this T20 thing will come back and say, hello, look at this, 4-1 in the T20s, but in the ODIs, your team is a problem. Red ball team is a problem. Is there a problem between captain and coach? All these things will come back, Gargi. This is a very important point that Rohit Juglan just made.
It absolutely will. And the question then will be, is Gautam Gambhir better at managing youngsters because he has more power there? Or is he failing when it comes to test cricket because a Rohit Sharma and a Virat Kohli is there and he can't really possibly negate star culture or cannot negate the power that Rohit Sharma has in the team? It will, finally come to that. But, when we look back on the Border Gavaskar Trophy, everything that happened in the final couple of test matches, especially the way that Rohit Sharma was dropped, the way that was handled, I think it was Rohit Sharma's grace that sort of saved that situation. I think it could have gone sideways very, very fast, but it did not, because Rohit handled it very, very well. And we saw him, after that press conference, we saw the kind of body language that Rohit Sharma had. It was absolutely disastrous. And you knew that, he was sort of not heartbroken, but he was hard done by the way that the situation was handled. So if we're going to talk about this sort of manhandling by Gautam Gambhir in the England Test series as well, then there is some concern in the team. But Gautam Gambhir as the head coach, Rohit Sharma as the captain, you have to make sure going into this series that none of that is reflected ever again in the Indian dressing room. That's my point.
Okay, let's end the show here. Let's end the show here with Ripan Ghosh's question. Ripan Ghosh asks me, will your team cover the England ODI series? Folks, we will cover everything. In Nagpur, we have Vaibhav. In Cuttack, Shomik is traveling. We will cover every game. Dubai, there will be 4 of us, 5 of us, 6 of us. So there will be enough and more people in every tournament, every major match. So don't ask. We will be the only team. Again, I'm telling you from now, we will have the biggest contingent in Dubai. So make no mistake, whether it is Champions Trophy, whether it is England series, whether it is IPL, whether it is Olympics, Asian Games, Paralympics, we will be the ones with the maximum number of people on ground to do the maximum number of stories. So that's what the reality is. I'll finish off with chess. It's called the Wimbledon of chess. Yesterday, if anybody was up till about midnight and a little later, you would have seen it. Very surprising results against Victor Pragg losing and against Arjun Erigaisi Gukesh losing. Both were leading going into the final round. Both lost. Resulted in a tiebreak. Blitz Gukesh won first match. Second match Pragg, and then Gukesh lost the tiebreak to hand Pragg the title. Two things here. Gukesh, except that last round, remaining unbeaten, 18 years old. After the World Championship, to stay unbeaten for 12 rounds in the most difficult tournament tells you how good his temperament is, how good he is as a player. Finishing runner-up in a tie-break, fantastic effort for Pragg. After that 2024, which was relatively okay, to come back and win the first tournament in 25, brilliant. Arjun Erigaisi, not the best tournament, coming back in the last two rounds, beating Fabiano Caruana and beating Gukesh tells you the depth of Indian chess. One sport that India will dominate. Vishy Anand's children have grown up and have grown up to be world beaters. Delighted about the way Indian chess is going. On that note, Gargi Rao, Devashish Sen, Rohit Julan, Bharat Ramraj, to everyone watching, thank you very much. Join us back. We will keep an eye on football. By the way, Devashish Sen just reported for every Mohun Bagan supporter that Alberto Rodriguez was practicing today. He is at the Salt Lake Stadium. Alberto Rodriguez was practicing today. So Mohun Bagan supporters can heave a sigh of relief. Gargi, you can close the show. Thanks everyone for watching. Join us soon.